age poetry arrived in search of me. I don't know where it came from a winter or a river, among raging fires or returning alone. No, there were not voices, there were not words, but from a street it called me, abruptly from the others. You know, I still remember the first time I tried to write something. I don't know whether it was just some words that rhymed to a poem, but at least I did my best to put on a blank sheet of paper what was inside me. Was I ill? Was I infatuated? Was it pain? Was it hatred or love? I could not define it. Was it of any value? How do I know that you're good enough to be understood? It doesn't matter what it is, whether poetry or not. As long as it is pure and comes straight from your heart, it is real. And it is worth trying. Poetry by Pablo Neruda, The Power of Poetry by Zard, and So You Want to Be a Writer by Bukowski. And there it was, without a face, and it touched me. I didn't know what to say. My mouth had no way with names, and something knocked in my soul. Fever? Or forgotten wings? And it made my own way deciphering that fire, and I wrote my first faint line. Faint, without substance. Pure nonsense? Pure wisdom of someone who knows nothing. And suddenly I saw the heavens unfastened and opened, planets, palpitating plantations, the sky perforated, riddled, the overpowering night, the universe. And I, a tiny being, I was drunk with the great starry void of the night, and I felt a pure part of the abyss. And I willed with the stars, and my heart broke loose with the wind. Poetry is the lighthouse of life, guiding the lost from a stormy sea. Without its presence, darkness prevails, keeping us from all we can be. Poems are used to convey passion by poets of both good and evil mood. Some are hateful, others loving, sharing thoughts to be consumed as food. Verse can lead us to glory or doom, as we partake with others within depicting our past, present and future, with words of man's grace or sin. People write poetry because they have no other choice, answering the call of their gift. Well, some tend to pull their readers down, others compose to give them a lift. Always remember, the power of poetry is used in both heaven and hell. It's all up to us to choose our pleasure, as poetry remains alive and well. If it doesn't come bursting out of you in spite of everything, don't do it. Unless it comes unasked out of your heart and your mind and your mouth and your gut, don't do it. If you have to sit staring at your computer screen or hunched over your typewriter, don't do it. If you're doing it for money or fame, don't do it. If you're doing it because you want women in your bed, don't do it. If you're trying to write like someone else, forget about it. If you have to sit there and wait patiently for it to roar out of you, then wait patiently. If it never does roar out of you, do something else. if you first have to read it to your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your parents or anyone at all, you are not ready. Don't be like so many writers. Don't be like so many thousands of people who call themselves writers. Don't be dull and boring and pretentious. Don't be consumed with self-love. The libraries of the world have yawned themselves to sleep from people of your kind. Don't add to that. Don't do it. Unless it comes out of your soul like a rocket, unless being still drives you crazy or drives you to suicide or murder, don't do it. Unless the sun inside you is burning you, God, don't do it. When it is truly time, and you have been chosen, it will do it by itself, and it will keep doing it until you die or it dies in you. There is no other way, and there never was.